What's up, EO Nation? This is Ethan King from EO Atlanta, and I'm back to introduce another amazing speaker for EO Nerve 2025 in Atlantic City. Get ready to amplify your success with Deirdre Van Nest. As a top-rated international keynote speaker and founder of Crazy Good Talks, Deirdre has empowered thousands of entrepreneurs and financial professionals to fast track trust and create emotional connections that lead to yes. With over 16 years of real world speaking experience, she's renowned for her high energy presentations and actionable strategies that drive instant business growth. Deirdre's mission is to transform you into an engaging, inspiring, and compelling communicator. So don't miss her session at Nerve. Deirdre, welcome today. How are you?
Oh, thanks, Ethan. It's so great to be here with you.
Awesome. So, Deirdre, just give us a sneak peek of what we can expect during your session at Nerve 2025.
Yeah, and here's the backdrop. Here's the come from. James Hume once said, he's a presidential speechwriter. Every time you speak, you audition for leadership.
Mm.
So, Ethan, this means whenever you open your mouth, whether it's to your team, your prospects, your clients, or key influencers, they are subconsciously asking themselves, do I like you? Do I trust you? Do you seem competent? Do I want to follow you or work with you? And oftentimes they're basing that decision, in large part on how you speak. So, Ethan, think about this for a moment. Have you ever known someone who was incredibly smart and capable, but the moment they got on stage, and started speaking, you were like, oh gosh, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened to your perception of their competence?
Oh yeah. Went downhill.
It tanked, right? And so I mean no disrespect when I say this, but just because you can talk doesn't mean you can speak. It's kind of like saying, I can run, therefore I can qualify for the Boston Marathon. No, you actually need to train. And too many successful entrepreneurs assume that being great in business automatically translates to being great on stage, and it doesn't. So, if you've got A plus technical skills, like you're a great leader, you're really good in your role, but you're a B minus speaker, there's a gap. And that gap is costing you credibility, influence, and money. And if you don't close that gap, you're devaluing your experience and leaving opportunity on the table, right? And the worst part is you're never going to reach your full potential without closing that gap. But when you become a crazy good speaker, you're going to command rooms, you're going to grow authority, you're going to close more deals and make a bigger impact. I've seen this firsthand in my own business and in the lives of my clients. So that's what we're going to be focusing on, starting to close that gap, Ethan.
I love that. And I believe that public speaking is a skill that everyone needs, even if someone's thinking to themselves, well, I'm not going to be on stage or trying to get paid from the stage. You need it in every aspect of business and really in life, because everything that happens in this world is done by people walking into rooms and opening their mouth and speaking. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. And it's one of the only tasks you can't delegate.
Very true.
Right? You can't give this to
Right.
somebody else and say, hey, go do this for me. Yeah. So let me tell you who the session is perfect for, Ethan. The session is perfect for you if you want to use speaking as marketing for your business. So you understand that speaking is a highly leveraged marketing activity and that you can use it to generate more leads in 1 hour than most entrepreneurs generate in 1 month. And you want to use it to really grow your visibility and your credibility in your niche. So that's the first person. The second person it's great for is if you want to use speaking as your business. Like maybe you want to be paid for keynotes or trainings. I work with many super successful entrepreneurs who reach a point, Ethan, where they're either like they have a passion project. Like I was talking to an entrepreneur last week. He's like, Deirdre, I have a tech business that's been running great for a while. And I have this passion project around EQ. I'm writing a book about it. I want to get out there. I want to speak. I want to get paid. Or some entrepreneurs have built up so much wisdom and knowledge in their own industry that they think, hey, let me be an industry speaker. Let me educate other people in my industry. And they want to get paid for that. Okay. So you're someone who either wants to use marketing for your business, you want speaking to be like something you get paid for, or like you said, you don't necessarily want to deliver that traditional 30 to 60-minute presentation, but you do want to be able to get up in front of a crowd, and maybe it's just your team, even for 1 minute, and feel confident that you will own the room. If you want to do any and all of those things, this session is going to be perfect for you.
I love that. I love that. So looking forward to this. Okay, so Deirdre, if you're down for it, let's give just a small taste of what we can expect. What are three things you can teach right now that every entrepreneur should do regarding having a crazy good talk?
Okay, so the first thing is mindset. The first thing is you have to recognize that as an entrepreneur, you are a leader. And that means by default, you're a public speaker, Ethan, whether or not you want to be one. And unfortunately, many entrepreneurs have a very narrow view of what public speaking means. They think, oh, it's getting on stages, right? It's like being in front of large groups. So the definition that I want you to shift in your mind, the paradigm shift, is that public speaking is anytime you're talking to three or more people with the goal of getting them to buy into you, your product, your services, or your ideas. That is public speaking. And if you come from that place, you are more likely to take it seriously and prep accordingly so that you can really stand out. So the first thing is having that paradigm shift. The second thing, Ethan, is anytime you are going to put together any type of messaging, together, again, whether this is 1 minute at a networking group, it's a 15-minute town hall, or you're doing a podcast, a video, a full on presentation, you want to ask yourself the following question. Okay. So get a pen, get a piece of paper, write this down. It's, how do I want my audience to feel, think, and act differently as a result of my message? So I'll say it again. How do I want my audience to feel, think, and act differently as a result of my message? And when you do that, then you reverse engineer your entire message to reach that objective. The problem with a lot of content today is that the speaker is asking themselves the question, well, what do I want to say? And then, Ethan, they're shaping their message around what they want to say. Unfortunately, what you want to say isn't as important as what your audience wants to hear, and isn't as important as how you want them to feel, think, and act differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Feel start with the end in mind and what's in it
Yes.
for them, not what's in it for you as the speaker. We often, when people get nervous about speaking, it's because we're so worried about how we look, or are we going to trip and fall on stage, or is my hair in the perfect place? But that's because we're focused on ourselves. So if I understand what you're saying correctly, it's no, shift the attention to the audience and what's in it for them. And you said, how do you want them to feel, think, and act differently after hearing your talk? Is that right?
Yeah, and then when you're choosing your content, when you're putting together the presentation or the message, you're actually going to put in content that is going to achieve those objectives. A lot of speakers go into speaking with like, okay, well, this is what I want to say, and I hope this happens. I hope that people will be engaged. I hope that they're going to take me up on my offer and I generate leads. I hope I'll be good enough to get paid. I hope I'll inspire them to do this. I hope they'll do that. That's never going to happen unless you create the content to do that for you. So you absolutely have to begin with the end in mind.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
That's
Now, in my session, I'm not going to teach you how to do this now because I want you to come to the session. I am going to teach you how to captivate and create content that will captivate your audience from the very first words out of your mouth. Because what you say first will make or break your impact. It will make or break your message. It will make or break your ability to generate leads or earn money. So that's one of the key things we're going to focus on in our time together. But my third tip for today has to do with delivery. The most important and powerful delivery tool you have at your disposal is what I call the power of the pause. So not like a pause, like a dog pause, like PAUSE. So many speakers, Ethan, are afraid to take a breath and to have moments of punctuated silence, like silence on purpose, because it's scary to get up in front of a group and have a moment of silence. But when you don't pause, nothing seems important. So, what I want to encourage you to do as you're speaking and practicing until I see you in September is to be aware of allowing your audience to catch up to you, right? So, pause after you say something emotional or important, like pause for 2 to 3 seconds so the audience can really process what you're saying. If you have something you really want them to pay attention to, pause right before you say it, and they're actually more apt to listen to you. So practice strategically using pauses and getting comfortable with just a beat of silence when you speak. And do this in your one on one conversations, and your message is going to pack a much bigger emotional punch.
Yeah, that's golden. You have to let that message sink in, right? It's
Mhm.
like I heard someone put it to me this way because I do some speaking myself, and that lesson was the hardest for me to learn because you just want to keep speaking and filling up the space. But you're
Yes.
watching TV and there are commercials on, and then the TV goes quiet. What do
You're
you do?
like,
You're
what's
like,
going on?
oh. Yeah, so you pay attention. The pauses, so much power in pauses. I love it. Really, really looking forward to your session. And I know that our members are too. So tell us about your pre-event amped up coaching that our VIP ticket holders will get from you.
Okay, so I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine you're meeting with a new prospect, and you can tell they're a bit closed off. Like maybe they're sitting there like this, arms crossed, stone face, kind of leaning back. And this used to unnerve you. You used to question yourself, you used to over explain, or worse, you start rambling and talking too much, but not anymore. Because now you know that in just 3 minutes, everything in this meeting is going to change. In just 3 minutes, their arms are going to relax, they're going to lean in, and they may even crack a smile. In just 3 minutes, they're going to like you more. They're going to feel more connected to you. And they're going to start to trust that you genuinely have their best interest at heart. So, Ethan, what happened in those 3 minutes? What happened was you shared what we call at Crazy Good Talks your personal brand why story. And this isn't just any story. This is a very specific type of story that, when used correctly, fast tracks your know, like, and trust factor so you get to that yes quicker. I've been a communication expert since 2011, and I've never seen a tool this powerful. And I actually stumbled upon it in 2017 when I shared my personal brand why story for the first time with a group of entrepreneurs. And Ethan, right after I told this story, an audience member named Joe, like his hand goes shooting up in the air. And he said, Deirdre, I just want you to know I will believe anything you say right now. So imagine that, Ethan, right? If you have an audience member or prospect saying, I will believe anything you say right now. That's what we want in business, right?
Yes.
So I was completely floored. If there was ever a magic bullet in communication, this is it. For me, sharing this particular story everywhere I showed up grew my revenue by 60% in the 2 years after I first used it.
Wow.
So when that happened, yeah, when that happened, I started teaching my clients how to identify, craft, and share their personal brand why story, and they experienced the same results. So my amped up package is all about the personal brand why story. You are going to learn over the course of 4 sessions. I'm going to guide you and a group of your peers through my step-by-step system for identifying the perfect personal brand why story for your business. You're going to craft your compelling version of your own personal brand why story. You're going to learn how to share it in a way that builds instant connection and trust. And you're going to learn how to leverage it strategically to drive business and close more deals. This story should be the cornerstone of your brand. You want to use it in one on one presentations or conversations, in group presentations, public speaking, and in video and online. And Ethan, this isn't going to be theory. You're going to get real world actionable strategies that work. And so if you're finally ready to have that one story that changes everything, I want to see you in my amped up package.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it's going to be
excited.
great.
Yes, I already have my VIP ticket and I'm signing up for your class because
Oh, yay.
yeah, it's going to be
Are
awesome.
you?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, let's
Oh, I'm
do it.
so excited. I'm so honored. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
know you have a lot of choices, so I won't let you down.
Awesome. Well, Deidre, thank you for spending some time with us today. And I hope all of you are as excited as I am for Nerve 2025, where we are going to amp up your business, amp up your personal life, amp up everything that is already great in your life and more. So we can't wait to see you in Atlantic City.
Awesome. See you there.